Hello there! Regular viewers may know that I started using Goodreads this year. I already had an account, but I didn't use it really. I used it for like a week. Whereas I have now started using it quite regularly. And I wanted to just make a bit of a discussion video about my experience with using Goodreads. Kelly at What Kelly Reads actually did a video on this not long ago and pretty much said everything I wanted to say on the subject much more eloquently than I can probably say it. I will link that down below. Definitely check that out. But basically, my experience has been a mixed bag. The reason that I started using it, I think, was because people sort of set themselves, don't they, these, I want to read so many books in a year. And I had absolutely no comprehension of how many books I read in a year. I generally read sort of 6+ a month. So that's interesting, and what I'm really enjoying with the process is tracking my progress, although it is becoming a bit obsessive, and it's annoying because I generally don't update throughout the day. I just do a big update at the end before I go to bed, and the amount of times I've come to do it and been like, oh no, I didn't do it yesterday, and then it bothers me because it's like, but I read more than that, like, even though I'm the only one that knows my progress, basically. I'm sure nobody else is bothered, but it affects me. But yeah, that part I really enjoy, and it's quite satisfying to be able to tick off, like, the percentages and stuff. It gives it sort of a pacing, and I actually find it makes me read a lot quicker because I want to get to a certain percentage before tomorrow, sort of thing. But my trouble with Goodreads, and I think a lot of people's troubles from what I can gather, is the star rating system and the fact that it doesn't... It's difficult because obviously you can do rating, like, you can do your rating and then write a review to explain why you've rated it like that. But I don't want to get into doing reviews. I mean, I do reviews on my channel and on my blog, and if I start doing reviews on Goodreads as well, I'm just going to get so fed up at books that I'm just not going to even want to talk about them anymore. But I feel as though the star rating is just too broad. It's very difficult to judge things when they are not comparable. Like, you can't really compare, especially a graphic novel, say, and I have been having issues with graphic novels recently, and a contemporary fiction or a YA book. Like, you can't compare the things. I mean, I know, as I say, I've been having trouble rating graphic novels. I've also been having trouble rating, well, I've only read one YA book, which was The Monsters and Men, but I really couldn't place it because as a YA book, I thought it was done very well, but in the grand scheme of things, I didn't love it. But I didn't want to give it a bad rating because of that, because for a YA book, it was really quite enjoyable and well done. So I'm finding it quite difficult separating things, and I'm also finding that I'm comparing things to other things I've read, especially when it comes to 5-star ratings. I might be reading a book and really enjoying a book, but then I'm like, I mean, my only 5-star rating at the moment is If Nobody Speaks of Remarkable Things by John McGregor, and nothing's going to compare, and I can't compare anything, but there's certainly been one incident, which was In One Person by John Irving, which absolutely should have been a 5-star rating, and I gave it 4, purely because it didn't resonate with me, and it wasn't half as well written as If Nobody Speaks of Remarkable Things, in my opinion, but it was amazing in its own right, and it certainly would have been a 5-star rating without a doubt if I hadn't read If Nobody Speaks of Remarkable Things. So it's very difficult. I think I need to get to that point where I can rate things based on what they are rather than looking back on what I rated before. I'm fully aware that doing sort of individual reviews with books would make this process a lot easier and make me feel a lot more understood with my ratings, but I don't want to do, I just don't want to get into doing that. I feel like it would be too much reviewing going on. When you review the same book 3 times, it's just going to get tedious. But there we go. So part of it is my own problem. I definitely think they should, and I'm sure they've been berated for this for years, they should definitely get a 0.5 rating on there that you can just do half a star. I know people sort of rate it, say 4, and then in their review at the start they'll say 4.5, but yeah, again, I'm not going to be doing the individual review, so I can't do that. Also, I find that when I'm reading a book now, I'm constantly thinking, oh, what rating do I think this book is? Which I also need to get out of, because I don't read in order to rate books on Goodreads. I rate books on Goodreads because I read, and I don't want it to become an obsession. I think probably a lot of people experience these same problems. All in all, I'm having a really good experience with Goodreads. As I say, I like the momentum that it's giving me, and also it's very interesting to track how many books I actually read, because I've just never counted really. I could probably do an average, but then some months I might read 10, 11 books, other months I might only read 4 or 5, so it's hard to say, but it's definitely been eye-opening. I don't know if I'm reading more because I'm using Goodreads, but there we go. If anyone's interested, my link for my Goodreads is down below. So yeah, what do you guys think? Have you experienced the same problems? It'd be really good to hear your Goodreads stories and know that I'm not just a crazy lady. Bye.